Hey everyone, it's James again. Here I am with my gaming headset, and it's been just over a week since we've seen the JobKeeper update, JobKeeper subsidy come to fruition in its full form, being the legislation. Now, the government worked very hard in the lead up to Easter to pass the bill very rapidly, and whilst there were some fact sheets that were released in the lead up to the bill being debated and passed, what we have in its final form is slightly different. So to recap, I will go through really what the JobKeeper update is. So on the 30th of March, Prime Minister Scott Morrison came out and said, we're releasing a JobKeeper subsidy. Now, the days leading up to this, he urged all the employers to hold off on making people redundant or laying people off, understanding that this new subsidy, being significant, $130 billion, would mean that a lot of people would be kept off the unemployment queue and would remain in jobs. So it applied from the day he announced it, and it finishes because of late the government has said that these measures are finite. They will end. It will end on the 27th of September. It's a $1,500 a fortnight payment to employees through the employer. Okay, so the employer receives it and passes it on, and it commences the period of the 30th of March onwards. The ATO won't start paying you till the 1st of May, so there is the month that you've got to take care of the cash flow requirements yourselves, and government's rhetoric around this has actually been speak to your bank. In amongst that, you need to determine eligibility. And there's two forms of eligibility you need to look at, which is what's an eligible employer and what's an eligible employee. And we're going to delve into detail into those later on. So broadly, an eligible business is one that has experienced a downturn in or contraction in turnover of 30% or 50%, depending on whether your turnover is under or over $1 billion. Now we will we'll discuss more about what that 1 billion is and how it's measured later as well. And you must be in business. So people who have entities that carry on passive activities, say a suite of commercial property rentals, etc., those will not qualify. It has to be a business. Eligible employees. Those are employees who were on your books on 1st of March. That's important, okay? Full-time, part-time, or long-term casuals. And long-term casuals being by reference to 12 months they've been with you. They've got to be Australian citizens or PRs or New Zealanders who are here on a 444 visa. New Zealand and Australia enjoy that special relationship where we can work and live in either country, and legally New Zealanders are here on a 444 special class of visa, so they qualify as well. This means that those on temporary visas who are sponsored to come here or on working holiday visas, they won't qualify. Everyone was told register on the ATO website, and they were flooded. I think within a day the website had crashed because of the amount of interest. So the registration process is still ongoing, but later on we will talk about enrollment because that's the next important step. And enrollment commences on the 20th of April. So it's really a snapshot of what was announced. Now, the initial announcement left a lot of questions unanswered. So while the fact sheets provided some guidance, we still weren't quite sure where we were with things. The legislation does differ from the fact sheets in some respects. We will go into that in more detail, but there are still a few unanswered questions.